Good day. Welcome to the video presentation for POE Part 3 for open source. Today I'm going to be taking you through our application, which is called Tempus. So Tempus is a Greek name for, or Greek word rather, for time, and that's what we've named our application. Obviously, as you can see here, our app icon is also the name Tempus, and it's just a sleek and just a minimalistic icon, and that's what we went for. So basically, I'm going to go through each feature that we have for our Tempest application, for time tracking application. And I'm going to be taking you through the POE Part 2 features, just to show you that it still works, and as well as the POE Part 3 features, just to show you that it also still that it has been implemented into our project. So first thing I'm going to do, I am going to open up the application. I am also going to be reading off the rubric as well, just to show you step by step what we've done. And the first criteria on the rubric is that the app runs on a mobile device. And this is my personal mobile phone, as you can see. This is my wallpaper and this is everything. So it's working on my actual Android Samsung phone. And that is one criteria down. And I'm just going to open up the application now. And as when you open up the application, the template comes up and it takes you to the login screen. So this is the login screen. If I click not yet registered and I sign up, it takes you to the sign up screen. I could log in as an already existing member, but what I'm going to do for this video is just log in, sign up as an existing, sign up as a new user. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Cameron, and I'm going to say Cameron@gmail.com, and username is going to be just Cameron, and the password is going to be simple, which is just Cameron. So there's going to be there can be a feature if the password is less than a few letters. So if I just say and I say done and I say sign up, it's not gonna sign me up because the password is less than 6 letters. So it has to be more than 6 letters. So I'm gonna type in, and I'm gonna say Cameron. Let me just make sure I type that properly. Cameron. I'm gonna say done, and now I can sign up as a new user. So now it says user has been created. So now I can log in as the new user that I created. So I can say Cameron@gmail.com, and then I can say Cameron as the password, and I can say done, and I've logged in. So when I log in, the user, it takes into our splash screen, and from the splash screen, it then takes us into the Tempest application. So basically, this Tempest application is where the home screen, where you see the task that has been entered by each user. So as you can see, if I scroll down, these are all the tasks that have been entered into the database. So before I do continue, I do want to just quickly show you that the user has been created onto the database now. Okay, now that I've shown you how the authentication works and through the database, I'm gonna go through the rest of the features in the application. I'm just gonna run you quickly through the POE Part 2 features in the application, just to show you that it still works. So the basic stuff like creating a new task. So I'm just gonna create a new task real quick, and I'm gonna say backend, and it is and you can pick a category from high to low. I'm gonna say medium, and I'm gonna enter today's date. You can either enter it manually, or you can double tap on it and you can enter today's date. I'm gonna say June. I'm gonna say okay. So I'm just gonna cancel here. And you can also set the time as well. You can manually put it in, or you can double tap on the time. Right now is 1 p.m. So, and the end time, I'm gonna put it as 2 p.m. No, actually, sorry. Let me just do it again. I'm gonna put it as 2 p.m. I'm gonna say okay, and I'm gonna cancel that. And this description, I'm gonna say this task is for the back end. Okay, now that we saved our description, we can put the minimum goal and the maximum goal hours that we want to do for this specific task. I'm gonna say 1 hour for minimum. I'm gonna say next. I'm gonna say I want 2 hours. No, actually, I want 3 hours for the maximum goals done for this task. So I'm gonna say hit the hiding of the keyboard, and now I'm gonna say save, and this is gonna be saved into the database. And when I say save, this is also saved onto the Tempest application. As you can see here, this is the task here, and it's been saved from all the way from task name all the way to minimum goals. And right now I'm going to show you that it's been saved onto the database. Okay, so now that we're back, I've showed you that the task does save to the database. And now I'm just going to show you the other features that were implemented in POE Part 2 just really quickly before we go into POE Part 3 features. So you can view your task here. Just wait, we can go to total hours and we can view the total hours spent on a specific category, which is a requirement for POE Part 2. So for today, we've only made one task today. If we say high priority, we've not made a task today for high priority. So if we say okay, then it's 0 goes for the minimum maximum. But if we go back here and we say today and we click on a category for medium priority, because the backend task that we made was categorized as medium priority, we can come here and say okay, and you can see that these are the minimum and maximum goal hours that we had for medium priority for today. And obviously if you say for all time, for let's say high priority, you can see the minimum and maximum goals for the high priority categories that we have saved into the database and on the actual application. So that is the one feature that we had from POE Part 2. If we go to view task, we can view tasks from basically any selected period. So we're gonna view tasks for today. We've only made one task, which is the backend task. So if we say today, you can see that only the backend task can be clicked on over here. But obviously, you can make a new task for today as well. You can also view tasks for this week as well. And these are all the tasks that have been made for this week. There are a lot because obviously I was going through and sampling and making examples before actually coming and recording. And yeah, basically you can also you can just come back, and that's basically the whole feature side for the total hours and the view task by selected period. And the last thing that we had to do for POE Part 2 was to upload the image. So right now I'm going to go to the upload image section. This page was made by and the group member Donna. So basically what we're going to do is when you click on this image button right here, it takes you to your gallery, and from your gallery you can select a photo that you want to implement. So basically here I'm just gonna click on this image right here, and that's the image I want to upload onto my database and as well as the application. And for here I'm gonna say backend image for the backend image for the name, and then the description. This is the backend image for the backend task. And as you can see, we can write our description. We can upload an image using the image button. We can go straight to our gallery on our personal phones, and we can enter the task name as well as the task description, and we can upload a photo, and it's going to be prompted a dialog box which has a loading screen and which tells us that it is uploading to the database. Then it redirects us to the view image page, where we can see all the images and the task name and the image descriptions that we've saved for the specific task. And as you can see, if I scroll down, basically you're only seeing two of the same photos, because on my virtual machine, which is where I was coding on, I only had 2 images saved on my actual virtual machine. But if we scroll down here, you can see that the images have been saved. It's just taking a while to load because it is coming from the database. And over here you can see that the backend image has been implemented and has been saved onto our database and is showing and displaying onto our actual application. So you can see the task name and the image description that we put in. And you can also navigate back to upload another photo, or you can go back and view images as well, or you can go to your home screen and continue. So basically, now that we've uploaded a photo, I'm going to show you also as well in the database that it's been saved into the database. Okay, this is now the POE Part 3 features, sorry, that we are gonna go through now. So obviously, I'm just gonna read through the criteria on the rubric. We are running this application on the mobile phone. I just showed you that the data capture and views from prototype is still working, and now we have to make, and next up in the rubric, we have to show the 2 features that we've done for that we've implemented into our POE Part 3. First feature I'm going to show you is our delete feature. So basically this delete feature deletes the task that we have created in our application, and also deletes in our Firebase database as well. I'll be showing you each. So right now, basically how the implementation works for the delete function is if you just scroll on one, sorry, if you just swipe left or swipe right rather on a task, it then prompts you up with a dialog box, a confirmation dialog box, and whether or not you want to delete the task. So right now I'm gonna say no. Obviously, I don't want to delete the task, but if I go here, let's just say I want to delete this task called design, and I say yes, it then deletes from the application. It also deletes in um, the database as well. So that is our first implementation. Obviously, I can delete another one as well. Let's say I want to delete Donna's task. I can also say no if I don't want to, but this time I want to delete it. So now I am gonna say it's gonna prompt me, are you sure you want to delete this task? I'm gonna say yes, and it's gonna delete from the actual application as well as the database. And as you can see, Donna's task and the design task is not here anymore. So I'm gonna be going back to the database, and I'm gonna show you that the task have been successfully deleted off the application and off the database as well. Okay, so now that I've shown you the delete feature, I'm going to be showing you the next feature that we've implemented, which is a chatbot. So I'm just going to navigate through my bottom navigation drawer here, and I'm going to go to chatbot, and that's going to take me to my chatbot feature. So basically here it's just a simple chatbot that you can interact with, and the chatbot can also interact back with you. And right now it's telling you the list of things that it can do. So it can flip a coin, solve maths problems, it can take you back to your task, or you can search up stuff from the internet. So I'm gonna go through a few of the commands just so you can see how it works. And today you're speaking with Lesedi. Lesedi is a part of our group. And how may I help you? So I'm just gonna say a simple hello. It's gonna reply back with a nice prompted message, and now you can say how are you, just to show you the basic commands. How are you? I'm hungry. It's just gonna interact with you in a fun way. Here I'm gonna say weather. It's gonna say, is it raining today? I love the sound of the rain. Tell me a joke. This is the last uh this is the last prompt I'm gonna say. So why doesn't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. So now I'm gonna go into the more serious prompts. I'm gonna say open Google, and this takes you and redirects you to Google on your actual phone. So this is my actual phone, and it's gonna redirect me to Google. And as you can see, it's gonna take me straight to Google. Let's just load real quick. And there you go. It takes me straight to Google. I can go back, and here I can say, if I scroll down, please search, what can I search? Uh, GitHub. If I say, please search GitHub, as you can see, it's gonna search this for me, and it's gonna take me back to Google and search GitHub for me, where I can log in and do anything that I want really. So after the search prompt, anything after the search prompt, that's what's gonna search up for you. So basically that's just one thing that it does as well. And as well, it can also do all these other stuff for you as well if you just read through it. But the last thing I'm gonna tell it to do is I'm gonna say bye, and I'm also gonna say thank you. And the last prompt I'm gonna do is actually, can you please take me and show me my tasks, please? So now it's going to redirect us back to our tasks. As you can see, now we're back to our task, and we can also just view our task and create a task and just navigate throughout the whole implementation. So basically, yes, this is how the chatbot feature works. It's not saved onto the database. It's really just a simple AI API implementation and everything. And then you can, and as you can see, I'm speaking to Angelo now, and you know, you can just use the chatbot regularly. And if you want to leave here, you can just click the back button or swipe or whatever the back button is for a specific phone, and you can come back to the main page. So basically that's how the chatbot works. And those are the two features. So we have the delete feature and we have the chatbot feature, which are the two new features that we've implemented into our POE part 3 and our templates application. And that is the criteria done in for the application. And now if we go to the next criteria on the rubric, it says graph showing times and goals. So if I just read the actual question, it says the user must be able to view a graph showing the total hours worked each day over a user selected period. the graph must also display the minimum maximum goals. So over here in our bottom navigation drawer, we can go and view our graphs. So over here, we made a simple and sleek design. So over here, you can, in the top section, you can enter the amount of hours that you've worked on a specific day, and you can save those hours, and that gets saved into the database, which I will show you. And over here, you can select the specific period that you've created. You can select a specific period, and that shows the bar graph over here, which says no chart available yet, obviously because you haven't selected the period. And over here it says select period for pie chart. Obviously this is our pie chart over here. As you can see your minimum goals and you can see your maximum goals, but obviously we've not entered any hours worked for today, so obviously the hours worked is 0 over here. So as you can see over here, but here what we're gonna do now is for today, for selected period for today is the 8th. So if you see here and we say okay, as you can see the bar graph doesn't have anything because we haven't entered any hours, or we haven't worked any hours today. So which is what we're going to do. But if we go back, if we select a period from the 6th, I know the 6th I implemented it, and you can see these were the hours that were worked on that specific day on the 6th, which was 3 hours, 4 hours, and 2 hours on different occasions throughout the whole day. As you can see, that's how the bar graph works, and this is how the pie chart works. But basically now I'm going to just select a date. I'm going to say today, and today we've worked a total of 3 hours, let's just say, and now we're saving the hours. And the hours have been saved successfully. It's also been saved successfully in our bar graph. I'm sorry, it's also been saved successfully in our database. So if we click this week, we can see that this are the total hours worked, which is 24 hours in total throughout this whole week. And our maximum goal for this whole week was 9 hours, but we've worked 24 hours. And our minimum goal for the week was 3 hours. So we've extremely exceeded the total hours that we've worked for this week and the max goal as well, as you can see. And for today as well, you can see that this is literally the hours that I've just showed you. For today, you can see this is the hour that we just implemented now up here. We've worked 3 hours today, and our maximum goal was 3 hours, and our minimum goal was 1 hour. So we literally just hitting the max hour goal rate. So if I just select a day one more time and I say the 8th, and I say we've worked for 2 hours now, and we save the hours, it's been saved successfully into our database. And as you can see over here, if I just run it again for the pie chart and we select today as well, you can see, sorry, if I just say this week and I go back and I say today, you can see that it's been added into our database, and we've worked for a total of 5 hours today. And also if I go back to for our bar graph and I say okay, as you can see we've worked for 2 hours today in earlier period, and right now we've worked for 3 hours, which then also displays onto our pie chart. And that's basically how the whole graph system works. So I'm just going to read out the whole kind of feature again. The user must be able to view a graph showing the total hours worked each day. So this is the graph showing the total hours worked each day over a user selected period. So you can search, you can select a period that you want to show. Obviously you can select the 6th, you can select the 6th over here, you can select the 2nd over here, and it's going to show you each time you've made or you've recorded the hours worked on a specific day. And if we just go back to the 8th, you can see okay. And also the graph must also display the minimum and maximum goals. It didn't look pretty when I implemented the max goals and the minimum goals on the same graph over here. So that's why I made it a pie chart, just to show you just a nice display of the minimum and maximum goals as well as the total hours. You can also select a time period as well for the pie chart. And if we say all time, these are all the tasks that we have for all time. So we have 13 hours for the max goal, 5 hours for the minimum goals, and 30 hours worked for all the tasks that we've had. If we go this task this month, as you can see, this month we worked 26 hours in total, and our maximum goal hours was 9 hours. and the minimum goal hours was 3 hours. So basically, this is literally just how the functionality works. And now I'm going to move on to the feature. Actually, now I'm going to move on to the database so I can show you that the total hours actually works. So yeah. Okay, now that we've gone through all the features for PoE Part 2 and PoE Part 3, this is the last feature that we need to implement, which is the app must display in a visual format how well the user is doing with staying between their minimum and maximum hour goals over the past month. Now, I didn't really understand what it meant by past month, so I did both. So basically, over here in the pie chart, it does show you your maximum goal, your minimum goal, and how well you doing in reaching the maximum goal target. So over here, we can select a user period. So we can say for today, you can compare your total hours worked with the max goal and the minimum goal as well over here. And you can also select for this month. So this is the total hours worked for this month, and this was the max goal for this month, and this was the minimum goal for this month as well. So yeah, so I didn't really understand what it said by over the past month, so I made it show that you can compare for this month, and you can also compare for last month as well. So if you just go down to our navigation drawer button over here, we can go, and it then displays the pie chart breakdown for our for last month. So last month we've worked for a total of 30 hours, and our maximum goal was 9 hours, and our minimum goals were 3 hours. And it just shows you a nice message saying you have exceeded your max goal for last month, which is just a nice message just to show the user that how far and how well they were doing with the task, staying between their tasks this month and last month as well. And obviously, if the total hours worked was below the maximum goals but above the minimum goals, it was going to show a different message saying, and I quote, you did your best staying between your minimum and maximum goals. But if the total hours worked for that month was below the maximum and minimum goals, it would prompt a message down below here in the box saying you did not meet any intended goals for your tasks. But obviously here you can see that the total hours worked has exceeded the maximum goals and the minimum goals. So that's why there's a message getting displayed here saying you have exceeded your max goal for last month. So how I understood this part of the PoE was the app must display in a visual format, which is the pie chart, how well the user is doing with staying between the minimum and maximum hour goals over the past month. So I didn't know if they were speaking about this month or last month, but I implemented both features where you can see the pie chart breakdown in a visual format for last month's goals, as well as you can also come over here and see this month's goals as well, and how well you're doing with this month's goals, as you can see over here. So basically, those are the new features that we needed to bring into our PoE Part 3. I'm just gonna run you through it again. Yeah, I'm just going to be running you through it again just to show you that everything has been implemented properly. So I'm going to read off the rubric now. The application runs on a mobile phone. As you can see, is running on my personal phone. Data capture and views from prototype is still working. So the prototype was PoE Part 2. As you can see, it's still working. As I showed you, all these little different things are still working. You can save all the tasks, mark them complete. You can you can mark them complete. You can upload an image, which is from the PoE Part 2, is you can view all the images as well, which from PoE Part 2. You can view each task by selected period. You can say for today, this is the task we made today, or this week, this is the task we made this week. Or you can say all time, this is the task we made, like these are all the tasks that we have in the database. And in the application, we can also do the total hours, which we can select for all time for a specific category. So we're going to say medium, which is 1 hour, 3 hours. But if we say for today, obviously we didn't make any categories for low priority, but you can see 0 hours. But today we did make a category for medium priority, and we're gonna say okay, and you can see 1 hour, 3 hour goals. And you can also make new tasks as well over here if you need to make it, just like how we made the back end task here. No, just like how we made the backend task here, you can make a new task anytime you want. And those are the features for PoE Part 2. As you can see, the capture and the views are still working. And our own features that we made, the two features that we made with the delete function, you can delete any task that you want just by swiping right on each task, and it brings up a confirmation dialog box saying whether or not you want to delete the task. And if it does delete, obviously it then deletes from this application and as well as the database, as I've shown. And the other feature was the chatbot. It welcomes you, and it can open up Google for you. It can search the internet for you, and it can take you back and redirect you back to your task, and as well as other various commands as well, as you can see over there. And those are the two features that we've added. And the next thing was the graph showing times and goals. If we come here, if you view the graph, you can view each graph by a selected period. Obviously, in the sixth, we implemented some tasks. We saved some tasks. Over here for today, we also saved 2 tasks today. And for the pie chart, we can say all time, and it shows you your goals that you work for all time. As well for today, these are the total hours worked for today, and the max goals for today as well. And also you can save the hours worked for any day of the week that you like, and you can enter the amount of hours that you work for that specific day, which is pretty cool. And it then updates onto the database as well, and it also updates onto the graphs and the pie charts. And here you can also see, and then the next thing is visual display of how the user is doing with their goals. Obviously here in the pie chart, you can see how well you're doing with your goals. We've worked for a total of 5 hours today, but our max goal for today was 3 hours, and our minimum goal for today was 1 hour. So we've exceeded that. For this month, you can see how well you're doing with your progress for like this week, this month, today, or all time. So this month, you can see we've done 26 hours for today, and our maximum goal was 9 hours for this month, and we have 3 hours for minimum goal, but we've exceeded that today. So yeah, that's just cool implementation. And also you can also see how well you did with your last month's goals. If you just come and navigate here, you can see we worked for a total of 30 hours last month, but our maximum goal was 9 hours, and our minimum goals were 3 hours. But obviously then we've exceeded it, so it displays a message saying you have exceeded your max goal for last month. But obviously if we didn't exceed the goals, then it's going to display another message. But if we exceeded the goals, as you can see, it displays a new message. And you can, again, the navigation drawer, just to go back and navigate throughout the whole application. And this is the final version of our, just a simple final version of our time tracking application, which I think is very sleek. The UI is very user friendly, and it can help around people who aren't really technologically inclined. So we just made everything a nice color, blue hint with white undertones as well as the chatbot, just simple, just to help people, again, who aren't technologically inclined. And yes, this is our whole application for Tempus, time tracking application, to POE part 3. And this is the demonstration video. We fixed all the UI interfaces as well. As you can see, the UI is just, again, like I've been saying, just good and sleek and easy to the eye. It's not overwhelming for people who don't know how to use technology. It can be used by old people, young people. The user interface is just nice with subtle hints of blues and whites. And yeah, so basically this is just our application. And yeah, this was the demonstration video as well, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.